Welcome to another painting video. Again, we will be painting a scene from Kiki's delivery service, starting out with a washi tape to have clean edges in the end. A little bit of foreshadowing at this point. I will regret using this washi tape. You will see in the end why. So, first advice, always make sure that you have reliable washi tape. So, as always, we start off with a sketch, and I will forever be thankful for the store clerk who told me to use an acrylic, pencil, because it really disappears under the paint. And second step is, as I try to make it a habit, using just the base colors first. And also don't make them too opaque because you will be painting over these, right? So no need to use much paint here. So first step for me also is painting the clouds. I did start with the clouds because the background was dry, right? As I said in another video, it's always important to let the color dry a bit so it doesn't reactivate so easily. And also a couple of these clouds will appear in the background. That's why I'm starting with the clouds. So this part, the path, I mostly edited it out because I will paint over this path again and again during this process. I am very insecure when it comes to painting paths. I still need to learn that, but in the end we'll manage. And then we basically paint from the back to the front. So that's how I always try to use it, because this way you can layer things easily, and whenever I wait for anything to dry, I basically paint at some other corner of the canvas. So here we are painting a forest. And next up we are making sure that we have like this nice field of grass. And for this I actually butchered one of my brushes. I cut it in a way that it creates this beautiful grass texture. And I would highly suggest for you to do the same because it's the best trick ever. I learned it also from YouTube. And here's one of the many mistakes I did during painting this piece. So usually especially when I paint grass, I go from the back to the front. So to save some time, I kind of painted like overall, and it took me way longer than it should have. So be patient, go from the back to the front, and leave some time for the paint to dry. But in the end I managed. I'm actually quite happy with the result, and I will again be forever thankful to the person that advised me to paint grass like this. It was a YouTube video. I will link it in the description. Here you can see me going on the path again. So basically I just kept layering and then adding water to create like some kind of texture. It could be better, it could be worse. It worked out in the end. As soon as I figured out how to do this, I will share it with you guys. And then we will go on to the fence. So imagine like an old wooden fence. So it's kind of crooked, right? It doesn't have to be like totally straight. You don't leave like a ruler for that or something. You can just paint it by hand. And I start with the darkest spot because from my reference I know that the light is facing from the other direction, so most of this fence will be dark. And we will be adding white later to create dimension. And I mean, it's like in the end result it looks so good, but it's also so easy, so stay tuned for that. You cannot see quite good here, but I'm adding some shadows in the back, some lights in the back. And also I realized that the fence doesn't really start just right at the path. So usually there's still like a bit of grass between a fence and a path, because a path is never like really straight. You have always like some grass growing over it, and that's what I tried to achieve here. So in this piece, the perspective is very dominant, right? Because of the fence, you have a lot of dimension, and you have like a good viewpoint for the perspective. And I think that's what makes it kind of impressive, especially for people who are not really too experienced about painting. So it's a really cool effect that is kind of cheap to achieve because it's not too difficult. See, as you can see here, I'm adding the whites only from the other direction. When using this, you have to be very clear from where the light is coming and stick to that. And if you do that, the result will be great. So adding more, right? And I also added a bit of texture with like a darker color and a very delicate brush. Yeah. Now some light in the back again, because that has been dried up now. Using a lighter green. Usually I take the green that I took for the base and just mix it so that it is a bit lighter and a bit more saturated. And then it creates this cool effect. Gives it a lot of dimension, right? Even if it's just a couple of dots, really. So no magic happening here. And then you can see me again fight for my life to get a bit of dimension for this path. Honestly, I think it's okay. But I also think it could be better. And then, lastly, adding more light reflections in the back. So with these, you don't have to, please don't overdo it. Just use a bit. So, and now the big moment. Removing the washi tape. Going good. And at this point, you can see me basically again fighting for my life because the washi tape started picking up paper and ripping it. And in the end, it worked out. But then imagine this being a commission or something. I would have needed to start again. So that's the final piece. I hope you like it. Follow for more tutorials, and I hope to see you in the next one.